Let my daughter eat banana. Full banana. She just said, "Daddy, I want banana." I say, "Hey, cut it, let me cut it for you." But it is small, eh? Small. It's better, it's more nutritious when you cut it small. It's not good, eh?
Does comedy business really pay? The name BasketMouth is one of the comedy titans who has changed the face of stand-up comedy in Nigeria. His success story has inspired thousands, and he has managed to keep his game upbeat for several years, earning him several gigs and awards. Bright is a hardworking guy. You know, I see you all the time at your shoots. You're coming to the Galleria. You know, you didn't get this job and be like, I'm made. You're hardworking, and that inspires people like me that, no, this guy is successful in terms of comedy, but he's doing TV now and he's hardworking. Well, I mean, are you still hungry for more?
Yeah, that's one thing that actually keeps me going. The hunger for success, the hunger for the future, for a very successful future as well. Then the fear of failing, that also gives me the kick. And trust me, the good thing about mine is that I am my own competition. So I use, for whatever I do, I always go like, man, you can do better. You understand? That was crap. I always judge myself, and for the people around me, they know that whatever I do, and I'm never satisfied with what I do. Yes, I know that God has been very partial with me in terms of the favors, the opportunities, and all, but I don't take it for granted. You understand? But it keeps me going. Because the way it is right now, because everybody's just waiting. True. Everybody's just waiting, and they know themselves. And I go wait tired.
Are you saying they're waiting for you to fail or make a mistake?
Most people, Nigerians, you know how it is now. For whatever it is, they're always excited when there's a little bit of failure with someone. Like right now, there's a lot of people celebrating the fact that some artists are not having good hits. I don't want to mention names.
We know who you're talking about. I was I know what you're talking about.
So I'm like, why are you celebrating someone's failure? So I just don't want to get into that level whereby people will now start saying that shit we tell you, I never clear. As long as I'm okay with God, I think I'm good.
Okay. Then I also think you've invested in so many things under the entertainment umbrella that gives you an opportunity to bounce from one to the other. What do you also think regarding that? Do you think that's also a plan you had?
Yeah, it's been a plan all from the beginning. Most people don't know, but I started this whole thing by promoting shows. I was really never a stand-up comedian. I used to promote shows back then in school, and the first show that I performed at was the first big show that I performed at was a show that I promoted. And on the day of the show, I just made up my mind, like, you know what? MC this show, what the hell? You understand? You can do this stuff, just do it. And that's how it all started. And everyone was like, man, dude, you need to do this more. So I now left show promotions, now tilted towards stand-up comedy, focused on it for a while. Then I launched the entertainment company that I run right now, Baron's World Entertainment.
Okay. Now, looking at the future of comedy in Nigeria, I know it's tough. I've spoken to quite a number of you, and they tell me the same thing. It's not like music. You have to be very creative with jokes. You need to be careful not to recycle jokes or you get into trouble. What would you have to say regarding the future of comedy in Nigeria?
The future of comedy in Nigeria is quite bright. It's looking good, unlike the way it was before. Before it was static. Then we had more people jump into the game. Most of them are not like real comedians. They're just doing it because of it's a source of livelihood, which I have nothing against. You understand? But one thing I just don't fancy is when some guys come into the industry and just start biting materials from the existing comedians and make us look bad. Because when we now want to do our own jokes, you've already adulterated the jokes. It's already pirated. So that's the difficulty that we have right now. And it also helps because it keeps us on our toe. It makes you write more. You understand? Because I don't believe that a comedian should write one joke and use it and drop it. Abroad, it's not done that way. I know you've seen the stuff with Chris Rock, the Kill the Messenger. He did 3 gigs: New York, Johannesburg, and London. And if you look at it, you realize that what he did wasn't just repeating jokes; it was all scripted. Okay. So that's how they were able to cut from Johannesburg to New York, from New York to London with the same line. So which means that guy actually scripted his joke, and that's Chris Rock, arguably one of the biggest right now. Or I don't think there's any problem with repeating your materials as long as you change the delivery. Okay. As long as you add a bit of spice every now and then that you deliver it, people will assume it's fresh because you're adding more punchlines to it. Okay. But I think as well that a joke has its lifespan. When you use it for about like 3 months, you drop it, create new one.
Now, talking about the audience, sometimes, I'm sure you know about this, comedians tend to ridicule people in the audience. It could be, on a light note, but sometimes, these jokes are very, very lethal. How do you pull off such jokes? And sometimes, they're important personalities in the country, and you just pull off some jokes and viewers are like, oh my God, did he just say that about this person? How do you handle that? How do you guys, I think it's a huge risk.
It's a risk. For me, I do not do that. Even if I'm going to hit on someone in the audience, it's more of, I'm actually, making the person look good. Well, the same way adding a little bit of humor, you understand? It's safer it's better when people laugh at you than people laughing at somebody else. Because you're the comedian, make yourself the point of contact, make yourself the joke, ridicule yourself, talk about. That's why most times when you see me on stage, I always tie my jokes to myself, my family, my friends, because people prefer to laugh at you. So it's hard for you to see me in that kind of situation. But when comedians do that, you won't blame them. Sometimes the crowd is tough and they need to just, hit someone, I've never been in that position before, but I understand what happens when that happens. Yes, I understand what leads to it. And I don't think there's anything wrong with playing with your audience, except when you now go below the belt.
Now, talking about family, lately it's been your wife, and we hear about her at gigs. Is she comfortable with this? Did you guys talk about that? Look, Madamo, sometimes on stage, I'm going to be talking about you. I hope you don't mind, because you don't want to get back home and the door is locked and all that. So how do you guys, how do you flow with that?
She understands my job. She understands that most of what I say on stage are all jokes. The people that take it serious, may God help them. It's all jokes. She laughs at the jokes. Like when she's in the audience, she hardly follows me around for gigs, which is intentional. But whenever she's there and I'm talking about her, cracking jokes about her, it's always, it's funny to her. If she's laughing, I don't see why anybody's going to be taking it personal. She knows, she has an idea of what I am doing. She respects it. She understands the fact that I need to sometimes use her as a point of reference and a referral as well. Even when I crack jokes about my mom, they don't care. As long as that food is on that table, who cares?
Now, talking about television for you, did you have to go through any form of training or anything to start doing television? I mean, being a host on TV and working with a brand like MTV, did you have to get yourself prepared in any way?
No, I didn't. They just called me. The first thing when they called me in for the meeting, I was like, first of all, I told the guys, is this supposed to be an audition, or you guys picked me to do this? They were like, no audition. You're the only person we are talking to. We want you to be free. Be yourself on the show. I'm like, okay. So I started training myself, and they trained me as well on the job. You understand? If you look at the first episode, they were not that perfect. The only thing that helped me was just my personality and the fact that I was, the witty part of me was just kicking in and all. But with time, after the first season, I started getting better with all the corrections they've been, because I'm very open to suggestions, advice, and all those stuff. I'm a fast learner, so I actually learned on the job. And right now, I'm not perfect yet, but it's pretty good right now. I'm better than I was before, and there's room for improvement.
Now, before you get on stage or before you shoot on TV sometimes, do you still feel nervous?
Always. I'm always nervous. The first day I will not feel any form of fear is the day that I'll start feeling. Because that fear gives you that sense of seriousness. The fear makes you want to perfect on whatever you're going to do on stage. The fear, but the good thing about mine is that I turn my fear into strength, and it comes with when I'm backstage, my heart is kicking fast, I'm scared. when I'm done praying to God, I pray to God for every time I get on stage. I always pray to Him.
I'm sure you saw that picture that was on Twitter recently that went on blogs where some guy that looked like you was naked.
A lot of people believe it was me.
Talk about that.
It was my promoter, my partner in the UK. He sent me a picture. It was like, Bright, what do you think? Should we use this? And I'm like, who's the guy? He says he's a model in New York. That the guy did this, but the guy is not that, big and everything, so we can tap into it. And I looked at the picture like, okay, this can work. Let's just create a little bit of controversy, some noise and all, just to hype the show. And it worked. We did it and it worked. A lot of people thought it was me, and I'm shocked that a lot of people believed it was me because first of all, I don't have tattoos. Exactly. If the tattoo wasn't there, then it could work.
Now, finally, Basket, let's wrap up with Bright as a family man. There's the wife, kids, and how do you do it? Because your fans only see you on stage. They only know you as a performer. But who are you at home? Who is Bright at home with family?
Like right now, trust me, I just came in from Nairobi right now. You have no idea how eager I am right now to get home. My kids, my wife is, you know how it is, because they don't get to see me often. So whenever I'm in town, I'm at home. Like I don't even leave the house.
Okay, I've always wanted to ask you this. As they're growing, they accidentally stumble upon some of your raunchy jokes.
No, they don't.
How would you explain?
I try as much as possible to make sure they don't have access to anything that I do on stage. And the good thing is, like, when I do all them, edgy materials, it's mostly when I do my uncensored. Only when I do my uncensored. When I do normal events, I am as clean as whatever you can imagine. More than this, I'm very clean. So when they see my performance from any other thing except uncensored, it's clean. So I'm easy with that. But I don't let them see my uncensored shows. Uncensored is when I go crazy. That's the name of the show, Uncensored. So when people come to the show and start going like, man, that guy was a little bit too edgy. And I'm like, that's the idea behind the show. It's uncensored. I would say a lot. But if you come to do your corporate gigs, I'll be clean. You understand? But so my kids will never get to see Uncensored, at least until they are 18.
He has won the National Comedy Award for Best Comedian of the Year, Best Stand-Up Comedian of the Year in 2005-2006. He is also an ambassador for one of the leading telecommunication companies in Africa till date. BasketMouth stands out as one of the names to reckon with in the entertainment business, and he does not seem like he's slowing down anytime soon.